Sometimes you're happy and the day is good. Then a lizard crawls out of your toilet and bites off your dangle carrot or your squid mouth. My point is, it's difficult to trust anything these days, especially when it says the anything is free. Because that would typically mean that you are the product, and they're probably harvesting your information to build big robot hamsters that do farting in caves to make the volcanoes bubble. Well, this game recently dropped into the world and is completely free. Or so they say. Where the Winds Meet promises to be a massive open-world RPG set in ancient China and actually has very positive reviews. What sorcery is this? Is this a lie? Is it worth your time? Will those hamsters plug up their furry starfish and explode into screams and poo and goo? Or will rainbows and the impossible happen? Will this free game actually not be shit? Let's find out. Some guy dramatically walks in the rain with a baby head. Why is he looking at me like that? I've done nothing to you, baby head man. Well, it turns out that guy with the grump on his mouth is me. And I'm not happy when some cheerful guy comes along and starts talking at me. The conversation does not last long as we're quickly shouted at by bad guys and they chase us away on our horse-shaped dogs. I triumphantly press buttons and block them from stabbing my baby growth and shoot monkey creatures with fire until I run into an open field that gives my eyes such a nice little cuddle. Look at those pretty flowers. I bet they'd make even the most abstinent of bumblebees do a full cum. My dog-shaped horse dies and my baby growth gets sliced up by a flying arrow and starts to cry. Those bastards. Some big guy walks towards us dramatically with all of the leg integrity. His face has murderous intent on it, and a frying pan he apparently melted onto his skull. I don't know. The kids do weird things nowadays. He gets cheered on by monkey creatures and my first battle begins. Tutorial morons let me breathe fire on them and shout at them with giant bells. I do not understand what is happening, but I had a wonderful time. Then I put a whomp on the big weirdo with the weirdo legs until he fell over and died a little. I walked away triumphantly, but still with the grump mouth, unaware that some insect crawled into the big man's ear and whispered the secret of a good strudel. Don't forget. Some people put sex into a strudel, and you shouldn't eat it. This is the Moon Wizard tip of the day. Also subscribe and spread the words of his juicy tentacle wisdom. Anyway, during this time I was having some sort of vision nonsense and imagined some guy on a hill with a big cat. When I came to, my talky friend had a sword in his best shoulder and a loving stare with the big bastard. And they called it puppy love. There were no puppies here, unless he melted a frying pan on them. The insect flew out of an eyeball and towards the guy who likes to stand on high bits from my vision. Fast forward in time and I'm sat on a bench as the baby has grown up and is going on about wanting to travel to different regions and learn skills that make them womp good.
A butterfly!
Then they get distracted by a butterfly. Then Grumpmouth gets fed up and throws a sword at her. He misses though because he's a terrible parent. Well, look at that. Character creation time. I guess I was the baby head all along. I flipped a coin for gender and became a human female. I discovered something called smart customization that let me say stuff to generate my character. I didn't know what I was doing, and it wasn't quite working, probably because of something that I did. Anyway, this is the result. And if you clicked on this video thinking I wouldn't create a character who looks like somebody drew a face on a lemon meringue pie with a crayon as they were wearing oven gloves, and then proceeded to smash their face into it, you might be new to the channel. Hello, you. Welcome. Everybody say hi. Good, we're nice here. Unless we hate you. I click accept because that's all we can do at this point and get thrust into a fight scene where some guy gets the tingles for my green Pringles and makes it do a puddle splat. Then I name myself Foggy Toes because I don't know, just let it happen, I'm very confused. The man in black throws an ouchie at me and knocks me out cold. It was my fault. I didn't bring a sweater. I wake up because some child is assaulting me. I realize the man in black took my moldy Pringle, which worries me, but this little girl is just so needy.
listening? I mean it. I'm getting mad.
Were you hitting me?
She says I promised to do stuff and I speak back at her with a mouth that is in too much pain to move. I tell the girl I gotta go squeeze out a brown sound and I'll meet her in a minute. Then I go and search the house for clues about the thief who stole my moldy Pringle. I open a box that has shiny in it, then go for a wee-wee in the real life. When I come back, I notice my character had been looking at the camera begging for a quick death. Not today, Foggy Toes. There is so much to do. I find some dragon marking on the building, then the girl gets excited about a spear.
It's a spear! A real one!
Careful.
And she really shouldn't touch it, because it could bite her. Also, I saw it first. Piss off.
I'm not talking to you. I'm still mad.
The little girl gives me more spice, so I leave her alone in the woods to be scared and learn lessons. I quickly discover the beauty of the world around me and my floaty, jumpy feet. Not long after, I jump into the lives of some bad people doing bad things like standing too close to open fires and start stabbing at them until they die. They set me on fire, which hurt, so I was right to murder them. I leave a note for future people. Moon Wizard bless you. And I move on with my life. And by move on with my life, I mean discover the dance button and do my shaky moves by a beautiful river and make all the fish want to bonk on me. I come across some guy begging for food or money or something because his grandson needs new shoes, but instead I put a womp on one of their family until they get scared and run away. Then I steal their shit tent and do a dance in it. I kill some more guys with my big sharp stick and make them cry lots. I use arrows to penetrate the minds of those who rival me and leave messages across the land. Then I see some guy in a hole. He tells me about treasure and some bad guy doing bad stuff in this place, so I go inside and look at how bad he is.
You'll never get a single word from my lips!
Then I start fighting him and his goons, humiliating them completely. Big Boy was powerful, but I was faster than a rabbit hump and ended his days. Then I looked in his sparkle chest and stole his treasure clue. A guy on the ground was all sad, so I did a dance for him. I made some fires happen and the ground got pregnant, so I jumped on it and it gave birth to stairs and secrets. I ran through a cave with dead people on the walls and paid respect to the crotch of some really big guy, who turned around and looked at a really big door. Then I did some puzzle with glowy buttons, which was easy, because the people that came before me left notes telling me exactly what to do, so brain didn't have to vroom vroom. Big door opened and I walked through. I go into a room with a man posing on a mountain of dead people, but he is also dead, so I wasn't that scared. I open a glitter box and learn a new skill. This was my treasure. I go outside again and test it out. This guy is dead now. I dance to celebrate. I like the dancing. I'm glad the dancing is a thing. I like it a lot. Then I go into the menu and click on the appearance button. This is where I discover the money bits. Lots of really great looking clothes I cannot equip because they require a monetary transaction. Fair enough, really. My view is that if something is free and you're getting value out of it, then it's good to... How much for one clothing? That is too much for one clothing. I cannot. I will not. For one clothing? No. No. I took out my frustrations on some innocent bamboo, which gave me bamboo and all this experience because bamboo. When bamboo, good bamboo. Then I decided to finally go back to that annoying little girl. I was not convinced she wasn't a slug. She immediately started whining about wanting to get some storybook from some guy somewhere, and I made her happy by saying I would take her.
Ruby, go easy. Don't jump. I made the bridge fall down.
Then she defied my words and killed a bridge. I wowed her putty little mind with my jumping skills, and then she got happy again because she saw a bird.
What was that?
Then the bird died. She didn't care though, because this little girl had all the empathy of a dry elbow crease. I confronted the nearby archer who was very apologetic about killing the bird, and almost killing us, of course, and he gave us a book on archery skills that let me slow down time and also shoot birds. What the Christmas did these birds ever do to deserve this? Look at them. They're too arrogant. I tried shooting the girl, but was unable to. Shame.
Shall we shoot at the birds by the cliff together so I can observe its efficacy?
The archer tried to chat me up in a weird kind of a way.
Still water. Timing is key. Track the birds.
Then I beat him up in a bird murder competition 5-0 because he sucks. But look how bloody pretty this game is. I wish those birds were still here to see it. The archer warned me about some bad guy villain face called Killblade or whatever. They're never just called something normal like Terry or Mudslut, are they?
Look, Viet Guang and the others. My storybook. I'm coming.
Hey, be careful.
The little girl defies me again to skip down the mountain excitedly. I hoped she would trip. But she didn't. I spoke to some guy with a bird and a hat. He was excited to see me and revealed some of the map to me, but I was more interested in the bear in the background beating the shit out of a tree. I walked away to talk to the bear, but he started singing. So I put arrows in his arms and tried to cook in his fire. I lacked enough ingredients for any of the recipes, but did a little giggle because I misread buff food as butt food. But oh no, that's not what that says at all. I am a grown adult male.
The bear seems to know martial arts.
Of course it does. I watched the bear beat up the tree some more and learn Tai Chi. Of course I did. Then I ran up to the bear and threw it into a pile of rubble until it died. What? This game is worth everything I paid for it now, which was free. I paid free for it, but it was worth my free. I shot the beehive in the tree and fought the bees, then ran onwards to throw more things with my big muscles. I also helped some guy who was stuck in a hole. Then I gave him a thing and he gave me some sort of power, and I'm not really sure what I was clicking, but reading is hard, and I think I'm better at something now. I tried to fit in with a group of people, but my face was weird and I had a smell.
You there. Think you could walk past me without a word?
My apologies for disturbing you.
Time to fight!
Some guy said lines like a classic high school movie bully boy and challenged me to fighting. So we did fighting, and he hit me a lot and got confused when I hit him back.
What's happening?
But ultimately I hit him more and I won. Then one of those bugs crawled out of his eye and flew away. Who is this person putting bugs into people's eyes? If I had a bug in my eye, I'd probably be a bit of a dick too. I argued with some guy who was gonna give a prize to the winner of our fight, but then didn't. But then I said do, and he did. He gave me a mystery bag and some talent. Finally, I opened the bag with the annoying girl and hoped a shark would be inside and eat her in the face so she can shut up better. Instead, it was just some other stuff that she got greedy for.
This. Well, you can have it.
You greedy little thing.
Honestly, this girl needs parenting. And a shark. She said great heroes need a horse, but I was more distracted by the options for buying stuff in the game. Like putting a big barrel over my head or the face of a giant duck. I seriously contemplated it for a moment, but then settled with hanging a dead bird on my waist and not covering up my pretty little face. The girl got sad about not having money to buy things, then some guy said he'd buy her a thing, and I told him not to spoil her because she's turning into such a fucking gremlin. And then I just said, you know what, I'm gonna go now, and I asked the stranger to look after her, and it was fine.
Let my dad know I'll be home a little later.
No, I left the girl utterly mesmerized by a horse which was terrified of its own legs, so I thought she'd be fine, and I did a piss off. Also, I don't like her. I found a cat on a mountain wearing people clothes who asked me to cut bamboo fast. So I did, and then he gave me stuff. I made him float. I kept running up the mountain with my goat feet until I reached the top. By the moon, wizard, what a glorious view. But I wasn't alone.
Help! Help! Is anyone there?
Who was this voice? I gracefully and normally descended down the mountainside to see big wooden doors.
I'm trapped behind a stone.
I went inside and some guy started talking at me about a puzzle. I started a fire and then stepped on a fog circle to open a big stone and free the voice. Then I helped him figure out the rest of the puzzle with my big brain and useful tips. We walked down some steps until the big bear with a Dr. Evil scar did a roar at us. Roar! There was no need for me to attempt that. This would be my chance to throw another bear at some rocks and stuff. And this time, I would even have some help.
I've still got one last move up my sleeve. Don't worry about me.
Wait.
Yeah, so it's not often a game gets a legit chuckle out of me, but this idiot did give me one, so I'll let him not get eaten by the bear, and I will not step on his neck. And by give me one, I don't mean, never mind. I threw the bear at some rocks and stuff and did super speedy dodges, like the Power Rangers do when they're making the sparks happen and scaring the shit out of some dogs with their metal dinosaurs. I threw the big dumb bear at more rocks and stuff until it died, and then I stole its shiny sparkle treasure. I woke up my not-so-dead friend and said we can leave.
Excellent!
When I found myself back on top of the mountain, I got excited to investigate the big statue in the distance with the face on it. So I jumped off of the mountain and made my way there.
What are you looking at? Never seen someone in an accident?
On the way, I met some guy who was rude, so I threw him into the sky. I walked past some off-putting individuals, and surrounding the statue was a disturbing fog, coating an almost abandoned and eerie village. I stumbled onto some bizarre scene where statues are sitting in front of a rock.
Its eyes. Did they just move?
Naturally, I sat down with them until a glow happened and some deer ghost said hello, but it can't speak English, so it was more like very unnecessary. Very unnecessary, that noise. I followed its tracks to some people who were scared of me. Damn right. I learned I needed to face forward and sacrifice myself or something, but every time I tried to join in on the fun ritual behavior, the people freaked out, so I needed a new ability to get them to not. The game pointed me towards some guy not that far away who was surrounded by stone statues and was one himself. I learned his statue power, freed him, and made him cry. I tried to cheer him up with my dancing, but he kept crying so he can fluff off, the ungrateful poo. Before I headed back to those weirdos on the carpet, I engaged in some activities.
No running in the fields!
I got shouted at for running in a field of yellow, so I ran in it some more because how dare you tell my legs how to leg. Then I wondered if I could steer the boat, so I threw a man off of his boat and learned how he was not a fish. Some naughty gentleman called Witness started running away, so I chased him down and froze him into stone with my magic stone fingers. Then I tried reasoning with him and entered into some sort of thing. A thing where I would have to persuade him not to tell on me. This hurt my head. My poor little head. There were cards with happy men on them and I couldn't do the fatal paper cut dance with any of them. I pressed buttons, but what was I even doing? I don't know. I was so overwhelmed. So instead of talking, I bullied the man until all his blood fell out and I slurped up his soul with my silly straw. For some reason, this angered more people called Witness. Well, that's a very common name. And then everybody started trying to hurt me, so I ran away. In a nearby village, I drank some liquid that made my head go whoop, and then I threw some stuff into a pot. I was better at the other guy at throwing stuff into the pot. I pulled some man off his horse and earned the title of horse thief. But I was no thief. This was just a harmless giggle that saw me having to defend myself against the blinding rage of the horseman as he windmilled his fists at me and headbutted the ground a lot. Do not worry, he is not alive now. I picked some raspberries. I went into the next village where everybody was all sad and sick sounding. I used my magic fingers to make them happy. And if you subscribe to Crusty and the Moon Wizard, my fingers can make you happy too. Wait, I saw the biggest shiny chest I had ever seen. But when I touched it, some really big man creature jumped out and stabbed me.
Underground!
He kept digging around underground like Diglets do, and then he turned into a frog. Once again, I was confused. He beat me up a lot. I fell over and I had a sleep. When I woke up, I decided it was finally time to go back to the weirdos on the carpets. Right after I stole meat from a bear, gave it internal bleeding, and started a small forest fire. Then I used its furry little grizzle belly as a trampoline. We do have fun. Not the bear though, it's dead. I whisked myself away back to the weirdos on the carpet. I froze them into stone and made my knees kiss the ground. This opened up a big stone door and revealed a cave. What could go wrong?
Life is like the seasons. Bloom once, fade once.
Inside, I saw a ghost who said ghost things and collected fireflies and lethal crystals and poison frogs and imminent regret. Some big angry zombie boy got frisky at me, so I chucked him around and put a big whomping on him. The notes left behind from previous visitors warned me the water was poison, so I avoided it by accidentally stepping in it moments later. Ooh, look! Butterflies! I walked up the pretty pathway, but then it hurt my head and showed me visions of ghost deers and ghost people. I had to find them all and tickle them just right.
Under the water. Those who live forever all become deer in the water.
That was one. The next needed me to start a fire, and then I watched some ghost people do happy jumps over the water. I followed them to get the second deer. Then the final deer expected me to crawl through a dark hole like some sort of being that crawls through dark holes. What crawls through dark holes? Gardeners. Ghost deer ran up and blasted away the headache clouds. Then I ran up the hill to open a coffin to release the butterflies. Then corpse arms grabbed it and dragged me inside the coffin, where I fell into a big area that smelt like boss battle. I found myself drowning in mysterious fog. A whole gaggle of zombie gentlemen rush me not so gently. I fight at them with my big muscles and my superior legs until they explode and leave me the f*** alone. I continued running through the area and tussled with more zombie men, even intelligently falling down and not being able to get back up again unless I drowned myself a little. But a fake drowning that teleported me back with mild consequence. Some wall wanted parts of a dead animal, so I was doing that now, I guess. Seriously, why are there so many dead people looking more and more like webbing? I placed the skeleton bits on the wall and it opened to a big space that looked like Big Spider Town. I stepped inside and then jumped onto the back of Ghost Deer, who instead transported me towards some man, learning how numbers work.
98. 999.
He looked quite fight ready, and also very big. But this time I was going to call on allies. Who? I don't know, let's just press buttons. I waited, but nobody joined because people hate me. Must be the smell. I charged into battle by my brave lone self, peppering the big boy with strikes and fancy moves and flips so fast he couldn't even wobble lip out the word umbrella. He would leap into the air and launch anger at me and generally just hop around all fierce and rabid, like a bulldog does if you hit his sack of balls with a peanut butter golf club with wasps you've glued onto it. Oh look, I died. The game asked me if I wanted to invite people to help, so I spammed invites to absolutely everybody until I did it. I got a friend. We battled together and did so well. Look at us not dying and doing so well. I was better though, and through my cunning leadership, we prevailed. And the big bastard hit the ground with a thud like a Godzilla poo. His final words were, but I saw no bug crawl out of his eye socket, so he really was just that much of a dick. I danced with my new friend in celebration before trying to leave the cave, but having to fight a bunch of people who appeared so I could level up to the next stage of life or something. Puberty sure has changed a lot since I bought mine online for $26.99. I beat them all up with my big muscles. I got a bunch of stuff which overwhelmed me, so I ignored it all, and then I ran back outside to see the people I turned to statues gone. Where had they gone? They probably left to make babies and invent a space shuttle. Walking through the once foggy village, I could really see what a difference I had made to the land. The mud was happier and the creepy was singing nicer songs into my subconscious. Okay, so I accomplished nothing, but give me a break. My face is like that. Though I couldn't help but feel I was forgetting something. Oh my goodness, this game was actually quite fun. What a shock, what a surprise, wow. Subscribe and leave likes, toggle the notifications on so you never miss a video. All that good promotional stuff. If you want me to come back and play this game again, please do go ahead and let me know, because there's lots of stuff I missed out on, especially multiplayer stuff, because again, people don't like me very much. Do you like me? Please subscribe, I'm desperate. I'm desperate. Moomers bless you. Goodbye.